Thank you all for coming. I'm Ed Kaine. I'm an occupational therapist and registered functional therapist, and I'm going to just take you through this different way to think about pain, okay? Typically, if you go to the doctor, they'll ask you if you have a pain number, right? So they'll say 10 is the most you can possibly imagine, right? And 0 is no pain, right? 1 is just this little tiny bit of pain, okay? Right? You used to that kind of thought? The trouble with this thought is it never asks, like, how would you feel awesome? Like, what would awesome feel like, right? So what if 10 was like the best you could possibly feel, the best you ever felt? Like you're moving, you know, when you're dancing and you're just like, oh, I want to do this all the time, I feel great. So that would be our 10, and we could think of it like a negative 10, and that because I find 0 is just like a neutral thing, rather, like getting out of pain is not really that difficult, right? Even if you're in a tremendous amount of pain, people will pay tons for this, but it's like a false path, right? They give you a very expensive medications or surgeries or whatever, and only everyone is only ever getting to 0, right? So instead, how did that feel when you did that before? Like, it feels like, I mean, you might not have got to your 10, but you might have got to a higher number than 0, right? Or you might have still had some discomfort too.
Yeah, but not as much.
So you were getting close here. So there's 2 parts, right? We're asking about that. So how are we doing it? How do muscles change better than stretching? Okay, so we're going to do a little experiment. So everyone just is perfect. You're in perfect position right there. Just sit right there, and what we're going to do is just take your leg out in front and just lift it as high as you can. Okay? Good. So you might feel some restriction back here, something stopping you, right? Yeah. Good. So just come back down. That's not, I mean, nobody's hitting it out of the park there, right? Right? So we're not. So what I want you to do is push your heel down into the floor. Feel the tension on the back chain of your leg, okay? And just lean forward. Not stretching. We're not stretching here. We're pushing in. We're tensing up the muscles. Now we're going to relax those muscles up. Okay? So again, that was like just pulling your heel back towards you. Feel that pressure. Feel it in your butt. If you lean forward, you're feeling it so that you can get that back chain back there. Everything's tensing up. I mean, you would do this also, bending forward, something like that. But just with that, just relax out of that slowly now. Relax that. Bring your leg back and just be relaxed for a second. Take that same experiment leg and just lift that up as high as you can. You got? Is it easier? You're not fighting against the back of your leg. You're fighting. So let's try that same thing in standing. So we'll do the other leg. Hold on to, and if you want to, yeah, you can stand or you can, here, hold on to this. So now we're doing the opposite leg, okay? So now we haven't worked that. So you're just here, just touch something, if you want to. Your opposite leg, lift it up as high as you can. Very good. Yeah, put something so you can hold that. Good. So you got an idea where you are relative to the chairs, whatever. Bring that down. Same thing now. Push your foot down into the ground, and just tensing up there. Squeeze the muscle on the back, and then bend your knee. Yeah, bend your knee and go in through that motion. Tense it up here. Good. Now come out of that nice and easy. Now we did that longer than we needed to. Let's just do it. We'll do 5 seconds down in. Tense it up, and then 5 seconds and 10 seconds up. Relax it. Now lift your leg. Same leg. Yeah. Good. Okay, so now you want to get rid of that ability right now. So yours went up. Yours is the most dramatic. You went up like 8 to 12 inches or something like that. Lift yours up. The one that was your yours went up like a whole bunch. Now let's get rid of that for you. You're our experiment. Okay. Now do what you would consider like do a stretch now of that to try to make it increases. So yeah, really stretch. Like try. This is old style. You've done stretches all your life. So
yeah.
So we're just gonna show that you do your stretch for,
I cheat, I did, yeah. That's why
That's
Courtney
okay,
wants to work
that's
on my body. Cause she said it's horrible.
now come out of that, but don't relax, don't do it the other way, now come on up. Okay, so we didn't lose it for you,
No.
but, this is one, if someone's in pain, if you stretch them, if you stretch, you gain about like 3 or 4 degrees by the research, they can do this over and over again. By this method, you can get, so here's another way, let's see if we can get you even higher. Reach out in front, and like you're skiing, this is skier squat. And come up, come down, skier squat, come back up. So now these things, okay, you're tensing up, coming all the way through to relax, good. Now, pick your leg and lift it up.
Which leg?
See, look at that, you got more inches, more degrees, just cause you contract the glutes, right?
Does it tighten it?
It's, for a second, it's contracting it then, the idea is you're relaxing. The body is, okay, so now I talked about Bruce Lee, right? Everybody can sit, if you wanna sit down or stand up, whatever you wanna do. Bruce Lee, every time you saw Bruce Lee, he was in a full contract. He just, because they took, and they had to develop better film technology for him because he was so fast that they had to do 60 frames per second just to, but then they got all these beautiful shots, and then they picked the one that he was like completely tense. Now there's a whole bunch of mainly men walking around like this all the time with their muscles completely tense. And it looks good in a way, right? It looks good. So what we're looking for, like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that, right? But they don't have the same pow that Bruce Lee did, right? They don't have, like, Bruce Lee was relaxed, ah! And he did this thing and they took that shot right at that moment, and that's what we're used to. Bruce Lee had so much relaxation in his body when you look at him. If you look at him, he would, right? You can think about this guy. He was really teaching us how to move and be strong, because a muscle has a muscle reserve, right? So a muscle that's being contracted right now, and I'm walking around like this, has this much more to go, right? It could do a little bit more, but a muscle that's relaxed has all this, like it has all that capacity of the muscle to go. So if you're sore, you're relaxing it, right? Make sense? So when you're, so the world is out there saying, oh, you got bad posture, slam it back, get tense, do this, right? Roll your shoulders back. Instead, figure out, like, the body is really nicely set up. It has a natural alignment. It has like if you were just to go to sleep, or if you could be in, if you look at the astronauts, they're floating around and they're like, there's nobody walking around like this in the astronauts program. There's nobody, even if they have that problem when they're coming out, they don't have sway backs, they don't have other problems that gravity causes on us. So we have this alignment. Now, if you know what the position is that you want to correct for, if you're kind of coming forward, a lot of people are coming forward, right? Your head's too forward, right? Feeling yourself, just close your eyes for a second. Feel where you feel unbalanced. Feel where you're kind of being pulled. You feel your shoulders are being pulled up. You feel that tension in your shoulders. Now, instead of fighting against that, go more into that. Make yourself, make your head go a little bit more forward. Make your shoulders go up higher. Slouch more. Feel what that feels like. And now just let out of that. Let yourself back to that. Instead of slamming back into it, just let yourself back into it. Let your arm, if they wave their arm, just bring them down. Just let, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right? So you're looser because you actually contract into the problem, and then when you relax, instead of having that tension there and, I'm going to pull myself back and get myself into that. Make sense? Do you believe it? Does it feel like that in your body? So you make it worse to make it better. So everybody's working on this part of their shoulder, so we can all do this together. I'll teach you 3 neck moves really quickly, and that's going to loosen up your ability to move around. So you're just looking up slightly like this. You don't have to jam into anything. Just look up slightly. You feel that tension in your upper traps, okay? Now just let them down slow and bring your head back to level. Feel that tension go out of there, okay? Now, that's the top muscle, that's the upper trap that's just been let out. Now, the next one is, you're gonna pick your side, whatever one's tight. If you ever get tingling down your arm, this will often treat that too. You lean your head to the side, and you lift that shoulder up towards that, and you feel that tension just underneath there, it's holding that up. Do it nice and slow, and then just let it out slow. Let that down. You want to be even, you will be even in the middle. And then start turning your head to the side and looking up. We're just doing a little class. This is Lynn over here. Go up and back like that. Look up that way. Now lift your left shoulder up and back. Good. And then just let it down slow. Good. And let that down. Good. And then bring it back to the middle. Feel how that side that you did, that this is more relaxed. So just even it out if you can remember on that side. The ear, shoulder, relax. And then you're working back the other way. Bring that shoulder up. Now, the way we teach, the way I mentioned this is we go do, undo, and pause or relax, okay? Do, undo, pause means this. You're doing the motion. This is Ed Barrera's addition to hand somatics. What he did is he was talking to young soccer players and trying to get them to do this little, trying to get them to be able to increase their flexibility without stretching. So here we have an interesting thing. We got a dancer here. You could increase your range first, and then you increased a couple more degrees, and then we did the skier squat, and you got even more. And the thing about it is, if you were to kind of like test that ballet leg, after you've done more contractions and relaxations with this movement, right? So anything that's tight, you go do, you go undo, you relax. You got a sore ankle, do, undo, pause. Pause is the relax. We want to get back to normal. We want to get back to neutral, like what we look like in the space station. All right? That's the whole thing. Do, undo, pause. If you get a little pain, you're just contracting, relaxing. This handles most body, like joint and muscle pain. Some people have nerve pain. This doesn't touch that as much. Some central pains don't. But this is going to handle so much of the things that are being treated now with morphine or with those types of heavy duty meds. All right. Thank you all. See you.